You are watching live coverage of the PIAA Soccer Championships on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/PIAA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Pennsylvania high school playoff action. Good afternoon and welcome into Hershey Park Stadium. This our second state title game of the day, and it is in the boys 2A division. It's Quaker Valley taking on Lewisburg. Lewisburg, the reigning champs. Quaker Valley, the champion in 2019. And this is a rematch of the 2016 state title game in which Lewisburg defeated Quaker Valley. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us here for the NFHS Network. I'm Chris Markowitz, and this should be a good one. Two high-scoring offenses come to play here today in Hershey Park. Quaker Valley dominated its way through the state tournament bracket. They outscored Grove City 8-0 in the first round, Somerset 7-0 in the quarters, and North Catholic 2-0 in the semis. The District 7 champions are 22-2 on the year. And Lewisburg, for them it was a battle to get here in the first round. They won a narrow game 2-1 against Ole Valley. In the quarters, they won 3-2 against Allentown Central Catholic. And in the semis, it went to PKs, which they won 4-3 after the game was tied 1-1 at the end of regulation with Midwest. So Lewisburg had the battle to get here. Lewisburg dressed in white. They'll be traveling right to left on your screen. Quaker Valley dressed in black, going left to right. And we are underway here at Hershey Park Stadium, state championship in the boys, Class 2A. So Lewisburg in the white, Quaker Valley in black to start. And let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for Quaker Valley, a high-powered offense, and they are led up front by senior Keller Shamovitz, who's got 50 goals and 19 assists. Rowan Kriebel, also a threat at the forward position. Will Dunda, one of the captains in the midfield. Their goalkeeper, the freshman, Nathan Pribick. Corner kick coming up here for Quaker Valley, so we'll wait another moment to get you Lewisburg starters. Here's a cross into the box, cleared away. McKinney's clearance is sent right back towards the net and then sent away. Lewisburg with a ball up the close sideline, cleared out of play. And let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Green Dragons. The keeper today, Tony Burns, a senior, and they are led up front by their junior forward, Alfred Romano, who leads the team with 20 goals and 15 assists. Ball goes out of play on the far touchline. Throw in here for Lewisburg. Second minute of action, still scoreless. Quaker Valley on the year averaging just under 7 goals per match. Lewisburg scores about 3.5 per match. This is the boys, state championship game in 2A as the girls played earlier. Allentown Central Catholic came away as the champion. So congratulations once again to Allentown Central Catholic, first state title in program history. as they defeated Avonworth 2-1. Will Dunda, a senior captain, changes the point of attack for Quaker Valley. Dunda on the year has 16 goals and 13 assists. Good movement. Edwards tries a through ball cleared away. Rowan Kriebel, the intended man, throwing from the far touchline for Quaker Valley. At midfield, fight for possession, and it's won by Lewisburg. Whistle here, contact, and Carter Hoover took the tumble, so a free kick coming up. Hoover, one of the senior captains for Lewisburg. The wind is blowing left to right on your screen. It was very strong during game number one. Moderately softer here in our second match of the day, as this attack thwarted by the Quaker Valley backline. Shamovitz across midfield. Good ball up the far sideline. Kriebel sends in a cross, headed away. On the close sideline now, here's a good ball. Romano with the touch, but he couldn't get through the two defenders. Nick Allen, the sophomore, with solid defense on the play. Here's Burns, who comes to the 18-yard marker and picks it up as he rolls it to the opposite side of the pitch. Blaze Burns. Kellen off. Excuse me. This is Lewisburg going on the attack here. Hoover with a long ball up the far sideline. And it is crossed towards the middle of the box, but cleared away. Burns sent it away for Quaker Valley. That was a good ball downfield, though, by Hoover to set up a cross into the box. Diefendorfer. Out of play, throwing for Lewisburg. Ben Henry on the clearance as this pass off target intended for Hoover. Shamovitz sends it too far. Burns slides to keep it in. 7th minute of action. We're scoreless here at Hershey Park Stadium. Quaker Valley on an attack here. Off. Now Henry swings back. Throw in from the far touchline for Quaker Valley. Here's a deep ball. Late run by Diefendorfer, and out of the net comes the keeper, Zach Burr. As the ball is cleared up the close sideline, and excuse me, I want to make a correction. I had Nathan Privix circled by accident as the starter. The keeper for Quaker Valley today is Zach Burr, the senior, wearing number 50. John Freddie Krebs to midfield. There's Henry. Ryan Edwards to the close touch line. Off. Marked by two defenders. He swings backwards. Allen switches the point of attack. Dunda has his through ball deflected. Allen swings. Henry. And Quaker Valley just working for an opening here. Lewisburg playing solid team defense. Here's a fight for possession. That was Philip Permiashkin trying to battle to take the ball away. Free kick given to Quaker Valley. Shamovitz tries to send it in, but it's deflected. Carter Hoover knocked the ball away. Ball enters the box and sails right of the post, out of play for a goal kick. 9th minute of action in a scoreless first half. Chris Markowitz here for the NFHS Network. This is a rematch of the 2016 state title game. Lewisburg defeated Quaker Valley in that contest. These two teams have become perennial powers in the state. Quaker Valley 2019 champions. Lewisburg took home the title a year ago. So Lewisburg is looking for back-to-back championships. Quaker Valley trying for 2 in 3 years. On a throw in, the ball trickles towards the goal line and goes out for a corner kick. Second corner of the match for Quaker Valley. Ryan Edwards, the senior midfielder, goes right away. Here's a shot at the net over the bar. Shamovitz decided to take one from downtown, but got underneath it a bit with the wind at his back. Subs onto the turf now for Lewisburg. Noah Pauling enters the match, along with number 25, Darian Silvakos. So 10 minutes have gone by here in the first half. Quaker Valley has had the ball on the attack for the majority of the opening 10 minutes. Here's a ball into the box. Pressure by Kriebel, but the back line for Lewisburg able to work it up the far sideline. Here's a through ball, far sideline. Pisanti has it cleared out by Burns, deflected off him. Great play by Blaze Burns. Hoover up ahead. Krebs sends it out. Throw-in coming up for Quaker Valley, though, as it was deflected out off of Lewisburg. Romano strikes it up the far sideline. Headed out of play by Krebs. Ball stuck on the far sideline. Both teams knocking it in and out of play. Here's another ball on the far sideline that goes out of play, but Lewisburg really likes working the ball up that far touchline right now. That's the area they've tried to attack from early on here in the first half. Quaker Valley on a counter here. Allen. On the far sideline, sent out of play by Caleb Kim. Ball into the box. Well defended once again by the Lewisburg back line. This is a solid defensive unit for the Green Dragons. Kriebel into the box, and he runs into a wall. Krebs, far sideline. Kriebel once again marked by Kim. Edwards into the corner. Kim with a relentless effort defensively, and he forces a Lewisburg throw-in. Stumbris tried to send it downfield. Quaker Valley reorganizes as the back line works with it near midfield. Allen on a cross. Shamovitz can't make the touch. Throw-in once again for Lewisburg, and there you see the wind playing a factor as the ball took a high hop off the turf and accelerated after the bounce. 15th minute of action now, a scoreless match. Shamovich, good ball into the box. Out of play. Good read by Burns just to let it go. The cross was intended for Kellen Auth, who was running towards the back post, but it was taken a bit too far in front of him with the breeze blowing in that direction. Here's Auth. Had three defenders around him, lost it. Pisanti to midfield. Henry corralled by Burns. And now he'll pick the ball up after Kriebel comes up to pressure. McKinney to the close sideline. Silvakos sends it backwards. Here's Shamovitz. He splits two defenders. Tried to play the two-man game with Kriebel, but Lewisburg took it away. Hoover with a nice move. Deep ball up the far sideline. Permiashkin won't get there as it rolls out. But it'll be a throw-in for Lewisburg on the attacking third. Alfred Romano returns for Lewisburg, and he replaces Hoover. Romano, the junior, Lewisburg's leading scorer, both with 20 goals and 15 assists, as the cross is off target and out of play for a Quaker Valley goal kick. At midfield now. Dunda over to Shamovitz. Keller Shamovitz into the box, tries a shot off target. Keller Shamovitz applying pressure in the first half. He's had a number of quality looks now, both for crosses and shots. And Lewisburg has to do a better job finding him defensively. Kriebel sends it across on the ground, but four defenders in the area for Lewisburg. Ball goes out of play, throw in here for Quaker Valley. Auk gets it back between three defenders, and it's stolen away. Now here's a tumble on the close sideline, and a whistle comes in. Free kick coming up for Quaker Valley as Nick Allen drew the contact, and this is our first reset of the match in a significant spot. It's been a cleanly officiated first 19 minutes of action. Ryan Edwards will take the kick. He sends it in on the ground. Shamovich tries a shot, too strong. Another good look for Shamovich, but this time he got underneath it and it sails over the crossbar. Today's game is available for download. Click the digital copy button under the event video player to download a digital copy of the event right to your computer. 20th minute of action here in the first half. Chris Markowitz here for the NFHS Network. It's the PIAA Boys 2A State Championship game. Shamovich on the far sideline. He's been a terror so far, but hasn't been on target with a couple of his shots. Kriebel lets it roll out for a throw-in. Hoover waits to return on the sideline for Lewisburg. And the officials will hold him off for now. Krebs towards the box, and McKinney gets it away. Burns finds an open man. That's Edwards. He tries a shot off the crossbar. Powerful strike by Edwards from downtown, and he misses by about 6 inches. Edwards with a firecracker. And Quaker Valley getting the opportunities here in the first half. They just haven't been able to capitalize yet. Here's another chance off a takeaway. Kriebel in space. He goes into the box. Kriebel too strong on the final touch as it's cleared downfield. Lewisburg has been able to get numbers back on a couple attacks up the close sideline as the ball is sent out. Throw in here for Lewisburg. McKinney. Ball kept in play. Taken away by Romano. Nice slide tackle by Burns as Quaker Valley tries to corral for possession. Kim with a smart move there, sending the ball back to Burns, and he'll reset for the Green Dragons. Burns, as Kim hustles on to deflect the ball. Here's Hoover in space. He sends a through ball up the diefendorfer marked well on the play by Krebs. As the slide by Burns sends the ball up the sideline. Shamovich, as it rolls out, throw in for Lewisburg, and the Green Dragons trying to put the pressure on now offensively. Quaker Valley has dominated the first half in terms of possession. Here comes the sub now for the Quakers. It's number 24, Carter Turk, a freshman, out onto the pitch. He replaces Kellen Off. Hoover with the touch. 2 substitutions walk towards midfield now for Lewisburg. Nick Passanetti, waits alongside Philip Permiashkin. Edwards battles with Silvakos. Lewisburg with good team defense there to take the ball away. Christensen Garal over to Kim. Shamovitz out of play, throw in for Quaker Valley. So the subs will have to wait for Lewisburg. We're in the 25th minute now. It's a scoreless match. Quaker Valley has had some chances, but the Quakers have been off target on their shots. Here's Shamovich on the attack. And it goes out of play for a goal kick. Permiashkin returns along with Passanetti. McKinney. Close sideline out of play. Allen. Burns with the header. Henry with the touch. Edwards over to Turk. He's got space. Back to Edwards. Nice little two-man game. Slide tackle and a beauty. What a takeaway. That was Noah Pauling who got in there with the right foot. Pauling, a sophomore midi. And for the Green Dragons here in the first half, with the wind blowing against them on the attack, if they're able to come away with a clean sheet through the first 40 minutes, that's a win. That's a major victory. They're parking a lot of players back defensively, but Quaker Valley hasn't been able to find the opening too often. When they have, the shots have been off target. Shamovitz tries a cross. It's partially deflected. Here's Turk. Quaker Valley resets to the back line. Turk back to Edwards. Met immediately by Pauling. Here's a cross into the box. Diefendorfer gets it downfield. Kriebel through 3 defenders, won't be able to squeak through. Permiashkin, slide tackle and a great one by Allen. Now he goes on the attack. Off target intended for Edwards. Shamovitz. Kriebel now. And it's sent back to midfield. Shamovitz on the far sideline. He sends in a cross. It's a good one into the box. Still alive and cleared away. There was a glimmer of hope there for Quaker Valley to find its first score of the match. The ball stayed alive after the initial deflection, but Lewisburg was able to get bodies back defensively and clear it downfield. Turk in space. Dunda. Cleared across the touchline by Pauling. Noah Pauling going all out right now for Lewisburg. A gritty first half performance for him off the bench. Kriebel off the touch from Shamovitz. Taken away once again. Lewisburg has had an answer for the majority of Quaker Valley's attacks. As the ball goes out of play, throw in here for the Green Dragons. 29th minute of action here in the Class 2A state title game. And what a battle it's been. Here's a deep ball down the far sideline. It rolls into the box and is picked up easily by Zach Burr, who hasn't been tested much here in the first half. Lewisburg has parked the bus on its own side of the turf defensively. Turk plays it up the sideline. Kriebel won't get there in the corner as it rolls out for a goal kick. At midfield, touched by Edwards. Permiashkin taken away by Allen. Throwing for Lewisburg from right in front of their own sideline. Sub onto the field for Lewisburg. Rudy Christensen Garal returns. So Noah Pauling goes back to the sideline. Ten minutes left here in the first half. Romano lets it roll out. Last touch by Krebs. So Ben Kettlewell's squad playing solid defense in the first half here. Lewisburg has kept Quaker Valley off the board. This is a Quakers team that averages just under 7 goals per match. Quaker Valley outscored their 3 opponents in the state tournament first 3 rounds, 17-0 on their way here to Hershey Park Stadium. But they haven't been able to find the back of the net so far in the first half. Lewisburg with another good defensive action there on a Quaker Valley cross. You got to give a lot of credit to the back line. Caleb Kim has played solid here today. Ian McKinney's made some plays. Simon Stumbris, the captain and the center back for Lewisburg, in on the action. Subs coming on for each team. Pauling returns for Lewisburg. And Cameron Diggins, the sophomore midfielder, checks in for Quaker Valley for the first time today. He replaces Carter Turk. Alfred Romano goes to the sideline for Lewisburg. Good movement on the far sideline, but Quaker Valley has numbers back defensively. Edwards working backwards. Finds Burns. If you're just joining us, it's a battle of the previous 2 state champions here in Class 2A. Quaker Valley, the champs in 2019. Lewisburg, the champions a year ago in 2020. This is also a rematch of the 2016 state title game in which Lewisburg defeated Quaker Valley. Allen to midfield. Kriebel circles back and makes a pretty touch to keep the ball in possession of Quaker Valley as Kim knocks it out for a throw-in. Lewisburg tries to mount an attack here. The pass by Pauling off target. Here's a deep strike towards the box. Kreischer sent it away from the net. McKinney. Now Stumbris clears it up the close sideline. Dunda had space for a moment. It closed quickly. Edwards back to Diggins, who just came on as a sub. Allen up ahead. Not a lot of room there for the touch. Stumbris can't clear it too far downfield as it's deflected. Here's Edwards, gets it through two defenders. Kriebel, and Dunda can't strike it. Solid defense in and around the box today by Lewisburg. Quaker Valley's been able to move the ball up to about the 25-yard line as we have a whistle here, and a foul is called against Quaker Valley to negate the attack. So Lewisburg has allowed Quaker Valley to move the ball as far up the field as the 30, 25-yard line on the football markings here at Hershey Park Stadium. But once the ball gets in or around the box, that's when Lewisburg starts to close the gaps. Less than 5 minutes to play here in the first half. And it's been an impressive defensive display by Lewisburg, keeping Quaker Valley off the board through the first 35-plus minutes of action. McKinney to midfield. Back over to Kim from Hoover. Burr picks up the long ball off a couple bounces. It was intended for Passanetti. Christensen Garal sends it far down the opposite sideline. Stumbris tries a cross into the box. But well defended there by Quaker Valley. Burns able to get it towards midfield. Quaker Valley wants a foul. They play on. Here's a ball up ahead to Kriebel. And it goes over the end line and out of play. So the officials allowed for a play on there. They saw that Quaker Valley had momentum going in the opposite direction. Less than 3 minutes to go in the half. Kriebel tried the back heel, sent out by Kim. Quaker Valley with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left with the wind blowing in their favor. Here's a ball into the box. The shot saved. What a beauty by Tony Burns. Diggins, the sophomore sub, sent it towards the net, and Tony Burns got airborne to deflect it away. A huge play, but Lewisburg isn't out of it yet. It's a corner kick. Edwards will send it in. Less than 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Edwards, line drive kick. Shamovich sends it in, and Burns falls on it. Another shot by Keller Shamovich. This one on target, but not enough to get it past the strong hands of Tony Burns. $1:30 left to play here in the opening half of action as the sun pokes through some clouds here in Hershey, Pennsylvania. On the far sideline, Blaze Burns allows it to trickle out. Throw in for Lewisburg. And some confusion here. Quaker Valley thought it was last touch by the Green Dragons. Instead, Lewisburg had it off the throw-in. On the close sideline, good team defense there. Allen working with Diggins to take it away. Burns makes the play. 30 seconds left in the half. With 15 seconds to play, Quaker Valley will attempt one more attack here. And this could be a chance. Here's the shot, saved once again by Burns. Tony Burns with an incredible first half. Kriebel had a chance there to put Quaker Valley ahead, but Tony Burns says no. And that will take us to the half. It's a scoreless match here in the state finals of the boys 2A state championship bracket. We'll take a break, and when we come back, second half action here on NFHS Network. You are watching live coverage of the PIAA Soccer Championships on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/PIAA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Pennsylvania high school playoff action. Welcome back into Hershey Park Stadium. Moments away from kickoff here in the second half. It's a scoreless match in the PIAA Boys 2A state title game between Quaker Valley and Lewisburg. Quaker Valley dominated their way to this state title game, outscoring opponents by a total of 17-0 in their first three state playoff games. But Lewisburg kept them off the board in the first half, even though Quaker Valley had the wind blowing in its favor. Lewisburg will kick off to start. They're dressed in white, going left to right on your screen. Quaker Valley dressed in black, going right to left. This is a Quaker Valley offense that averaged just under 7 goals per contest coming into today. But Lewisburg mustered a strong defensive effort in the first half. The Green Dragons parked the bus, though, in the first half. Didn't attempt a shot. It's been a relatively clean match. Not many fouls have been called so far today at Hershey Park Stadium. Lewisburg working the ball up the far sideline. Didn't have too many opportunities on the attack in the first half. Here's Hoover. Stumbris up ahead. Taken away. There's Dunda. And his pass sent out of play. Another throw-in coming up here for Quaker Valley. And with the wind switching, or I shouldn't say the wind switching, with teams switching directions here, we'll see how the Quaker Valley back line responds. They weren't tested too often in the first half. When they were, they came up with big plays. But it should be a slightly different look here, given the elements. Lewisburg will toss it in once again from the far sideline. Contact, no foul called. The officials allow for that to play on. Diefendorfer swings backwards. There's Kim, Caleb Kim, very active in the first half defensively. He made a number of key plays. Henry up to Edwards. Edwards narrowly missed scoring a goal in the first half. He hit the crossbar. Edwards from Shamovitz. He takes the tumble in the box. No call. The whistles are silent, and Edwards can't believe it. Neither can Quaker Valley head coach J.J. Vecchio. Absolutely livid with the no call. It looked like it was a foul, no call. So instead of a penalty kick and a chance to take the lead, Quaker Valley has to go to work once again, moving the ball offensively. And Lewisburg might have caught a huge break there. Ball into the box once again, cleared away towards the far sideline. Here's a good cross. Shamovitz takes a touch. Kim wins the battle and gets it away. Caleb Kim has played huge here today for Lewisburg. Edwards back into the box. Tries a shot off target. That was a tough angle. Edwards tried to force the issue, but he was well defended by Kim. Here comes Lewisburg now, trying to mount an attack. Diefendorfer off target, went for the net, but didn't get much behind it as it sailed right of the post. At midfield, Quaker Valley with space to operate. Here's Shamovitz. Marked by Kim, tries a shot, saved by Burns. Shamovitz got something behind that one, but Burns read it well from the jump and was there to make the play. Off. Wins the ball back. Nubs it up the far sideline for Dunda. He tracks it down. Dunda tries for the Meg, but it's cleared out. Stumbris not fooled on the play. Here's a ball into the box, and Burns settles underneath the pop fly. A can of corn for him. Today's game is also available for all subscribers via the NFHS Network live mobile app for Apple and Android devices. Download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today to start watching live games wherever you are. Kim to throw in from the close sideline as we enter the 47th minute of action. At midfield, Kriebel unable to win the ball from Hoover. Allen lets it trickle out for a throw-in. On the back line, Kim has his pass intercepted. Kriebel. There's off. Fancy footwork. He finds Henry. Over to Shamovitz. Shamovitz tries across with the right foot. Struck and out of play. Kalanoff made the touch but couldn't redirect it towards the net. Burns was in the area. Another good ball by Shamovitz. He has played well today. But so far, Lewisburg has been able to get players back in the box on his crosses and make it difficult looks for his teammates. As a sub will check in now for Lewisburg, Alfred Romano comes back in. Noah Pauling goes to the sideline. On the far sideline, there's Edwards. Up ahead to Kriebel. Quaker Valley working against the wind here. Kriebel just outside the box to Edwards. Edwards with the left foot over the bar. That's twice now that Ryan Edwards comes within a foot of putting Quaker Valley ahead. In the first half, he hit the crossbar. This one sails over by about 3 inches. It would have been interesting had the ball been on target, whether or not Burns would have made the play. He was in the area. Edwards' pass is broken up. Shamovitz tracks it down and boxes out Kim to earn Quaker Valley the throw-in. Lewisburg has one shot attempt in the match. It came here in the second half. Quaker Valley hasn't been deterred since switching directions and playing into the wind. It just speaks to how strong their attack is. Here's Burns. Light contact, no whistle there. Kriebel. Nifty move. Shamovitz. Some contact, no whistle. Shamovitz tries a shot, and it's saved by Burns. A contested look there, to say the least. Reese Diefendorfer was there on the play, battling with Shamovitz. So Diefendorfer able to disrupt the attack a little bit. Here's Kriebel. Over to Dunda. Krebs up to Shamovitz, a bit off target. Dunda pressured here. No whistle for a handball. Quaker Valley wanted it. They thought that off of Kriebel's deflection, one of Lewisburg's players touched it with the wrist. But no whistle. Passanetti has his pass stolen. Under 30 minutes to play now. Edwards sends it to the back line. Burns up ahead. And Edwards heads it to no one. Passanetti near midfield. And here's a whistle against Quaker Valley. The foul is on Krebs. And the Quaker Valley faithful not happy with that. Both with that call and frustration from a penalty kick call they didn't get earlier in the half when it looked like Edwards was fouled in the box. Off the free kick, here's a ball into the opposite box over the hand of Burr. Burr couldn't get it, but Lewisburg, unfortunate there that they didn't have a player near the back post. Quaker Valley caught a break. Their goalkeeper was down. So Lewisburg had a chance there to crack the scoreboard. Couldn't capitalize as Burr's kick is knocked down by the wind. Zach Burr hasn't had to do much today, as here's a shot and Burr right on cue makes the save. So Burr tested for the first time today, but he makes the save. Romano took the shot. Here's another attack by Lewisburg. This deflected out of play as Passanetti tried to cross, and that sets up a corner. First corner today for Lewisburg. Passanetti to send it in. Line drive at the 18, cleared away. There's Shamovitz. Now Kim clears it towards midfield. Quaker Valley has it on a throw-in. Whistle here away from the ball. This throw-in's coming back. Philip Permiashkin waits to check in for Lewisburg. 26 minutes left to play here in the second half. Kim with the header off Krebs' throw-in. Dunda keeps it in. Too strong on the touch. Dunda gets it back, tries a shot, and it dribbles on the ground into the hands of Burns. The ball cleared out of play. This will allow Permiashkin to check back into the match for Lewisburg. Romano goes to the sideline once again. Here's Kim. Pressure. Lewisburg gets it away. Diefendorfer up ahead. Near the box. Cleared away. Tim Smith, the center back, got it away for Quaker Valley. In the opposite corner, Stumbris takes it away. Simon Stumbris, the senior captain for Lewisburg, has made a number of physical plays today. Here's a whistle, and this will be a foul against Lewisburg. Edwards took a tumble. Oh, no, excuse me. I thought this was a free kick, and the officials say no. So that's a couple times now where Quaker Valley in the half has thought they've gotten a foul call missed. It's been a physical contest. Henry swings backwards. Here's a cross into the box. Kim reads it well. Permy-Ashkin at midfield. And he squeaks it through. Here's contact. And an offside called, so Passanetti tangled up on the play, but he went too soon. And that breaks up the Lewisburg attack. '58th minute of play here at Hershey Park Stadium. We are still scoreless in the PIAA Boys 2A state title game. Stumbris with good defense against Edwards. And the ball cleared away by Kreischer. Zach Kreischer, got it away there for Lewisburg. Here's Dunda. Will Dunda to the sideline. Oth. Back over to Dunda. Targeted for Edwards, but Stumbris read that play like a book. Burr rolls it over to Smith. Kriebel on the attack. He's got 3 teammates there with him. Oth knocks it out of play off of McKinney as Cameron Diggins returns for Quaker Valley. Diggins had a shot opportunity in the first half that was saved by Burns right before we went to our halftime break. So Diggins replaces Kellen Oth with just over 21 minutes to go in regulation. Here's Diggins, fresh into the game. Diggins with 3 defenders in the area. Kim clears the cross up the far sideline. This trickles out of play for a throw-in. Quaker Valley will toss it in. As we are midway through the second half, it's a scoreless match. Quaker Valley had its chances in the first half, couldn't capitalize. There's been a couple questionable calls here, or no calls, I should say. In the second half, the Quakers thought that Lewisburg got away with a foul in the box on a Ryan Edwards shot attempt. Shamovitz can't keep it in. Made a fancy touch, but the ball rolled across the touch line. No appalling returns for Lewisburg. He replaces Reese Diffenderfer. Shamovitz, nice pass. Here's Edwards. Couldn't hold it. Permy-Ashkin chased down from behind by Henry, but he gets it back. Permy-Ashkin has his pass stolen. That's Dunda. Throw in for Quaker Valley. Here's Edwards with pace. Slide tackle by Christensen Garal. And it's a throw in for Quaker Valley. Quaker Valley wanted a foul, but to no surprise, they didn't get it. As now a foul is called against Shamovitz. He pleads his case with the official. Quaker Valley frustrated now here in the second half. They have had a couple close calls that haven't gone their way. Lewisburg, in their mind, has gotten away with some tough contact. And so foul calls like that are not something that Quaker Valley will be happy with here.
How much does frustration sort of set in here for Quaker Valley? They're through over 62 minutes now in this game. And this is
63rd minute of action, still looking for our first score of the match as Alfred Romano re-enters here for Lewisburg. The Green Dragons of Lewisburg trying to repeat as state champions. Quaker Valley looking for its second title in the past 3 years. Here's the ball into the box, and it rolls into the hands of Burr. A brief chance for Lewisburg, but nobody there to send it towards the net. Here's Kim. Shamovitz takes his pass away. Shamovitz up ahead, and it's kept in play by Kriebel. Kriebel to Shamovitz. He wanted to try a shot, but didn't have the time for it. And Lewisburg with great defense there to get the ball away. Christian Singaral was in on a combination there with one of his teammates. Kriebel on the chase. It goes out of play. Throw in here for Quaker Valley. Henry drops it off. That's Allen. Shamovitz sent right back towards him. Hoover. Here comes Lewisburg on the attack. Ball goes out of play on the far sideline, throwing for Quaker Valley. High school sports fans, never miss another game. Become a subscriber to the NFHS Network to watch live event coverage, game replays, and highlights from high school sporting events from across the country. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination. NFHSnetwork.com. We are high school. With the ball going out of play, Philip Permiashkin will re-enter for Lewisburg. He replaces Silvakos with 15 minutes to play in regulation. Pauling, well marked. Back at midfield. Quaker Valley wanted a handball. Instead, they take the ball away. Here's Shamovitz on the close sideline. Nice move. Sends in a cross on the ground, cleared away. Cameron Diggins was his target. Stumbris, got there first. Edwards, not much on that kick. And Ryan Edwards comes up hobbled a little bit after the opportunity or shot attempt, from downtown. But he's all right, stays in the match. Dunda over to Shamovitz. And that's taken away. Off-target pass. Permiashkin. Up ahead, good pass. Oh, too strong on the touch, though, by Romano. He was trying to flip it over to one of his teammates to play a two-man game. Instead, it's taken away by Quaker Valley. Shamovitz up ahead, intended for Kriebel. Whistle silence once again. Edwards is down. Kriebel drops it off. That's Dunda. Shamovitz up to Kriebel into the box. Kriebel with 2 on the mark. Can't get off the cross. Great defense there by Lewisburg. Kriebel was able to get to the end line, but couldn't find the hole. Here's a chance on the counter. Permiashkin to Romano. Too strong. Romano tried to sneak it past the back line on a through ball, but it rolled to Burr as Hoover makes the touch, knocks it down with his chest. Diggins. And a whistle here. Free kick for Quaker Valley from midfield. 12 minutes left in regulation. Diggins, through ball to Edwards. Quick movement. Ball into the box. Some nice cutbacks. The cross still in the box and cleared away finally by Caleb Kim. Quaker Valley had a chance there. The ball was floating in the box. Shamovitz with Edwards behind him. Instead, he tries a shot off target. There was a sliver of an opening. Burns was late to get there, but it was off target. And another missed chance for Quaker Valley. Give credit to Lewisburg for making it a tough angle. But a good look there for Shamovitz. Burns up to Morrison, Ian Morrison, the senior midfielder who just came on as a substitution. First time we've seen him today. Here's a ball played to Permiashkin. He sends in a cross, but an easy stop for Burr. Christensen Garal now on the far sideline. Stops on the end line. Good defense once again, though, by Quaker Valley. Lewisburg, in the last few minutes, has had the majority of the possession. Here's a ball into the box. Cleared over the post. Or over the bar, excuse me. That was Monaco who sent it away. So it's a corner kick coming up for Lewisburg. Krebs was able to get the ball over the bar, as he had nowhere else to go with it. Passanetti will send it in here for Lewisburg. Less than 10 minutes to play in regulation. Line drive kick. Headed away from the net. Kreischer tries a cross. This deflected out by Quaker Valley. So another corner coming up for Lewisburg. Permiashkin will take it. High ball. It floats Into the box, over the bar. Missed chance there. It was Stumbris, the center back, who came up with the shot opportunity, but he got underneath it just a bit too much. So a missed chance there for Lewisburg to take a late lead. As the ball trickles out of play, throw in here for Lewisburg. The Green Dragons have had the momentum the last few minutes. Quaker Valley, when all said and done, and you're looking at the box score, you'll see they have had clear advantage in terms of shot opportunities and possession, as we saw some contact on that last play. Pauling thought he was fouled, but instead the whistles were silent. That's been the trend here today in the boys 2A state championship game. Permiashkin with contact against Burns. The officials allow the players to play on through it. No whistle against either team. So it's a throw-in now for Lewisburg on the attacking third. Hoover. His pass off target out of play. Under 7 minutes left in regulation. A scoreless match here in the 2A state finals. Burns up ahead, Edwards in the area, and this will be a free kick for Quaker Valley. Here comes Quaker Valley. Edwards up ahead. Diggins won't get there, as Shamovitz deflects the ball out for a Lewisburg throw-in. Whistles from away from the ball. And it's going to be a throw-in. Oh, they're switching this to a throw-in for Quaker Valley. So Shamovitz lines up to toss it in. Shamovitz from Edwards. And it's sent away by Caleb Kim. Dunda corrals it. Gets it back from Allen. And Quaker Valley resets to the back line. Krebs up ahead. Shamovitz too far intended. That was a pass from Edwards intended for Shamovitz, as Burns chases the ball down on the far sideline and lets it roll out for a throw-in. Less than 5 minutes to go in regulation. Christensen Garal has it stolen away by Burns. Passanetti towards Kim. Contact here, and it's a free kick for Lewisburg. Shamovitz whistled for the foul. Reset try here for Lewisburg from midfield. Stumbris will take it. And we saw this earlier in the half. A free kick from midfield. Stumbris towards the back post. Still alive in the box. Here's the shot. Another chance knocked away. And it is a goal kick. Lewisburg had a couple opportunities there. A great ball sent in by Simon Stumbris. Berg couldn't find the ball. It was sent in on a couple of shot opportunities, but both of them were blocked. We are in the twilight of the match. Less than 3.5 minutes to go now. Here's the ball into the box. Pauling still alive and sent away. Allen able to clear it. Lewisburg with a number of chances here in the last 6 or 7 minutes of action. Here's a takeaway at midfield. Space to run for Kriebel. Kriebel gives it up for Edwards, back to Kriebel, but taken away. Kriebel decided to pass it for Edwards. That allowed Lewisburg to get back defensively. Burns with a nice tackle there to halt Permiashkin's attack. Lewisburg has it on a throw-in. Permiashkin tries a shot, saved by Burr. Zach Burr knocked it down and scooped it back up quickly to keep it a scoreless affair. Here comes Quaker Valley the other way. Shamovitz, marked by Kim. What a matchup that's been today. Shamovitz shakes, and it trickles back to Kriebel. Henry over to Allen. His cross headed away. Less than 2 minutes to play now in regulation. Here's Allen. On the far sideline, good ball up ahead. Permiashkin can't keep it in on the end line, but it's knocked out by Quaker Valley. Burns pleads his case, but he made the last touch. So a corner coming up here for Lewisburg. Permiashkin from the corner. Good ball, but Burns snags it. Burr with an absolute strong-handed play there. Went right into the mittens as if he had glue on his hands. That ball just stuck there. .40 seconds left here in the half. Burr lets the ball trickle across the end line for a goal kick. Burns to midfield. Here's Kriebel. 15 seconds left. Kriebel to Shamovitz. One final chance. Wide right. Wow. What an ending that would have been, but Shamovitz misses by 6 inches of winning it at the buzzer. 80 minutes isn't enough to decide a champion in the boys' 2A final game. So we're headed to overtime here at Hershey Park Stadium. We'll take a break, and when we come back, overtime action coming up next here on NFHS Network. $80 minutes wasn't enough to decide a winner in the boys' 2A state title game. So here we are in overtime at Hershey Park Stadium. Chris Markowitz here for NFHS Network. And what a championship game it has been. Quaker Valley taking on Lewisburg, a rematch of the 2016 title game. Quaker Valley, the 2019 champions, Lewisburg, the reigning champs. Quaker Valley trying to avenge its loss in 2016 to Lewisburg. And through the first 80 minutes of play, if you're just looking at the box score, you would think that Quaker Valley should have come away with a victory. So many more shot opportunities. Shamovitz with a number of quality looks, including a shot with 7 seconds left in regulation that sailed about 6 inches right of the back post. Lewisburg, you got to give them credit. They parked the bus in the first half, played excellent defense. They had opportunities as well in the second half to score, couldn't capitalize, and that is how we got here. And in the first half of overtime, Lewisburg will be going left to right on your screen, so that is a big deal with the wind blowing strong from left to right. We'll see if they can take advantage of that. Just want to remind you that today's game is available for download. Click the digital copy button under the event video player to download a digital copy of the event right to your computer. This is an instant classic. You're going to want to be able to watch this one back. An absolute battle between two rivals, Quaker Valley and Lewisburg, who have met before in the state final. Quaker Valley huddled near midfield as they wait for Rowan Kriebel to join them on the turf. So Quaker Valley will kick off to start, going right to left. And Quaker Valley begins overtime on the kickoff. Diefendorfer, good pass. Permiashkin nearly slipped it through on the through ball, gets it back, tries a shot, deflected. Looked like there could have been a handball there. Lewisburg doesn't get the call. Christensen Garal tries a cross, deflected out for a corner. Shamovitz deflected it out, so Lewisburg with an opportunity out of the gate. Passanetti will try the corner. Nick Passanetti into the box, headed to the 18, and it rolls away. Good team defense there by Quaker Valley. Quaker Valley goes the other way. Kriebel. This pass too far from Shamovitz. Permiashkin. Knocked away by Allen. Permiashkin tried to slip it past on a through ball. A lot of turf there available for Dunda. He finds Shamovitz into the box. And his shot scooped up by Burns. Tony Burns has been a brick wall. What a performance in the match by Burns, who has a number of saves. A player down at midfield, and this is a foul against Lewisburg. Free kick for Quaker Valley from the center circle. This kick will be into the wind. Nick Allen to take it. Good ball into the box. Edwards pops it up. And Burns skies to make the play. He snagged it over Rowan Kriebel. Not a save, but an excellent effort there once again by Tony Burns. Permy Ashton's through ball is taken away by Quaker Valley. Kriebel tries a cross. Shamovitz taken away. Good defense by Kim. Caleb Kim has been an impact player in today's match. He's had to mark one of the best goal scorers in the state all afternoon long, and he's done a good job. As we have a whistle here, and this will be a reset opportunity for Lewisburg. Free kick from 45 yards out. Simon Stumbris to take it. Line drive into Burr's hands. Here's the deflection at midfield. Both teams fighting to establish possession. Edwards. And the ball rolls out of play for a Quaker Valley throw-in. Allen. Little two-man game there. Throw in here for Lewisburg. Kriebel with three defenders in the area. Gets by all of them. Kriebel has his through ball intercepted. Somehow Kriebel was able to get through three defenders on the attack, but couldn't sneak it into Edwards. Burns up ahead to Edwards. Tony Burns snags it and rolls it away. Passanetti. Over to Hoover. Pauling. Out of play. Corner kick coming up. Smart play there by Noah Pauling, sending it out for the corner. Deflected out of play off of Quaker Valley. Passanetti once again from the corner. High ball. Back post. Off target. It was Simon Stumbris once again on the header. But off target, and we remain scoreless. Lewisburg has had its chances in the match from corner opportunities. Shamovitz cuts back and finds Kriebel. Kriebel tumbles in the box, and once again, the whistles are silent. Quaker Valley can't believe it. It's going to be a throw-in from the close sideline for the Quakers. So that's twice now in the match that Quaker Valley will tell you that they should have had a PK. But given the way that fouls have been called, or haven't been called, I should say, no surprise that the whistles were silent on that play. Diefendorfer tries a through ball. Well defended. Burr picks it up off the ground.
The fact that this Lewisburg team all season long, there have been times where they have been tested, they have had to dig deep, and they have had the tougher games, and they have had to use that grit.
Kriebel to Edwards. Good movement here. Dunda can't make the pass to Shamovitz. It was about a foot too far out in front. Taken away by Lewisburg. Burns was there anticipating the play as a whistle here goes against Lewisburg. Free kick for Quaker Valley from midfield. Dunda to Edwards. He has space. Shamovitz on the end line, sends in a cross. Cleared away. Carter Hoover got to the ball first. Dunda in the center circle. Permiashkin comes away with it. Permiashkin taken away by Burns. Here's Kriebel. Kriebel with a fake. Cleared away by Stumbris. Back over to Shamovitz. Against Kim. Shamovitz wiggles in. And it's taken away once again by Lewisburg's back line. Dunda. Boxed out by McKinney. Ten minutes have elapsed here in overtime. Pauling. Defended by Shamovitz. Shamovitz to midfield. Diggins. Edwards in the area, but it's cleared away by Kim. Quaker Valley has owned the last 3 minutes of action as Shamovitz drops down for a second. And he is gassed. Keller Shamovitz has left it all out on the turf for over 90 minutes now, but we still remain even. Allen on the far sideline. Burns has his pass intercepted at midfield. Passinetti sends it towards the net, but too far for Permiashkin to run after. Good touch on the far sideline. Taken away by Christensen Garal. Permiashkin up ahead, but too far. Diefendorfer won't get there. Goal kick for Quaker Valley. Pauling. Up ahead. Burns got there first. Kept in by Shamovitz. Shamovitz, nice move. Tries a shot. And it's wide right. Shamovitz a bit too far there. Tried it from long distance. And Shamovitz, you have to wonder if he's gassed. Could have taken that a touch or two further down the field, but instead pulled up from about 30 yards away. Here comes Lewisburg on a counter. Allen to midfield. There's Edwards. Back over to Shamovitz. What does he have left in the tank? Here comes Shamovitz on the attack. Still has it. Tries a shot, saved by Burns. Eighth save today by Tony Burns. And so many of them have come on shots sent in by Keller Shamovitz. Caleb Kim up ahead. There's Pauling. Pauling on the attack on the close sideline. Permy-Ashkin wrapped up with a defender. No whistle, but it goes out for a corner. Seventh corner of the match for Lewisburg. And it will be Nick Passanetti to try again. Passanetti headed on the ground and sent away by Quaker Valley. Whistle here, and Lewisburg went too quickly on the throw-in. He threw it in from too far up the attacking third. Another throw-in for Lewisburg. Permy-Ashkin. Good defense. First it was Krebs, then Burns came in to take it away. Shamovitz up to Kriebel. And he takes the tumble. That draws a whistle. Free kick from 50 yards out. Dunda off the reset. Goes quickly. Off target for Kriebel. Cleared the midfield. Diggins to Edwards. Edwards intended for Kriebel, but it's taken away by Kreischer. Burns at midfield. Kim in the area. Shamovitz wins the ball, but gets whistled for a foul. Interesting call there. Off the free kick. Diggins to Allen, back over to Diggins. And it's cleared downfield by Stumbris. Little two-man game here with Diefendorfer and Permy-Ashkin. Permy-Ashkin sends it across. And Burns with another solid defensive play. Here's a shot from downtown, but wide right. Christensen Gerald tried his luck, but was off target. Burns up to Shamovitz. Throw in here for Lewisburg. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to play in our first overtime. Diggins at midfield, up to Shamovitz. Here's Kriebel. Kriebel to the end line. And Burns can't snag it, but it's saved by one of his teammates. A great play at the end of it. Ian McKinney was able to get it away from the net. That ball was rolling in. Burns couldn't corral the cross, but McKinney saves the day for Lewisburg for now. Kriebel sends in a cross, still alive and sent away. What a stand there by Lewisburg's back line. Blaze takes it away. Blaze Burns able to win the ball briefly for Quaker Valley. Lewisburg trying to go on one more attack here. Here's a chance, and a great play by Burr. Zach Burr comes up and makes a huge stop for Quaker Valley. That was a wide open opportunity for Lewisburg. Instead, it's a corner kick. Less than a minute to play now in the first overtime. High ball. And it is out of play for a goal kick. What a series of events. First, it was Quaker Valley who looked like they were going to win the match on a cross sent in that Burns couldn't snag, but Ian McKinney made the play to keep the ball from rolling in, and then Burr on the other end with the save. Kriebel into the box, the cross off target. Diggins couldn't direct it to the net, and as the clock winds to 0, we remain scoreless through 100 minutes of action. So at the end of the first overtime, we remain scoreless. We'll take another break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the PIAA Boys 2A State Championship match here on NFHS Network. Through 100 minutes of action, it's a scoreless state championship match. Chris Markowitz here for NFHS Network. And even though it's scoreless, this has been an exciting one. Both teams with opportunities to come away with the game-winning goal, both at the end of regulation and in the first 20 minutes of overtime. We're going to have 20 more minutes unless a goal is scored. It is golden goal in high school soccer in OT. And if through 20 more minutes of action we don't have a winner, we'll go to PKs. Both teams switch directions. Quaker Valley will travel with the wind at their back, going left to right on your screen. Lewisburg will go right to left. This just the second of 4 games we've got for you today. Right now on the left end line, the next game's teams are warming up. Conestoga and Moon are playing for the 4A Girls Championship. So both squads are getting loose right now. But they're going to have to wait a little longer than expected because Quaker Valley and Lewisburg still have to battle here at Hershey Park Stadium. Lewisburg kicks off to start the second OT. There's Shamovitz. Now let's see how Lewisburg plays it here. Obviously, they want a goal to win the match. You never know. PKs are such a toss-up. But their strategy in the first half going against the wind was to park the bus and just battle Quaker Valley defensively. So Lewisburg is in uncharted territory right now, needing a goal on the attack against the wind. But they've got the ball in an advantageous spot here. Ball goes out of play. Last touch by Diefendorfer, throwing for Quaker Valley. What a battle this has been. A rematch of 2016's state title game when Lewisburg defeated Quaker Valley. Lewisburg right now the reigning state champions. Quaker Valley won it all in 2019. Quaker Valley dominated its way to this title game, outscoring their opponents 17-0 in the first 3 rounds of the state playoffs. For Lewisburg, it was a little bit more of a contested road. They had a 2-1 victory in the first round, a 3-2 victory in the quarters, and they won in PKs in the semis. Shamovitz can't get past a defender there. It's cleared downfield. Pressure by Permy-Ashkin, but another solid play by Burns to clear the ball for Quaker Valley. Kriebel with space. He cuts back. Kriebel tries a shot, saved by Burns. 9 saves now for Tony Burns. Kriebel with some nice work to get open for the shot, but didn't have much on it. You're going to have to do a lot better than that to put it past the sure hands of Tony Burns. Obviously, fatigue a factor now, as we're in the 103rd minute of action. Allen up ahead. Kriebel keeps it in on a cross, but no one home for him. Shamovitz marked by 2. He tries a cross. It's deflected. Here comes Lewisburg on a counter. Pauling up ahead. Permy-Ashkin against Burns. And that draws a foul. Obvious contact there by Permy-Ashkin. Christensen-Garal over to McKinney. And McKinney made a game-saving play at the end of the first overtime on a ball that got past Tony Burns. But McKinney knocked it away from the net. 16 minutes left here in the second overtime. Lewisburg has been more aggressive offensively here in overtime number 2 in comparison to how they played in the first half going right to left. Edwards takes a tumble. No call. That's been the MO all day. Interception at midfield. Henry takes it away. Diefendorfer is down, but Quaker Valley plays on. Lewisburg able to make a stop and clear the ball out. But Diefendorfer remains down on the turf. And he is hobbled. He'll have to go to the sideline. Diefendorfer hops all the way to the sideline under his own power. And he is replaced by Darian Silvakos. Fatigue obviously becomes a big factor here. Clock is paused with 15 minutes and 9 seconds to play. This is the 105th minute of action here. Henry on a swing pass. There's Shamovitz. Tries a shot, and it's way off target. A sky ball that almost hit the scoreboard. It's been a long afternoon for Keller Shamovitz. He's come close a couple of times, but just hasn't been able to deliver the winner. Both teams desperate for the game winner. Edwards up ahead. Kriebel pauses, spins, nowhere to go. Nice play by Permy Ashkin to turn the corner. And his through ball is defended by Allen. Philip Permy Ashkin, the Lewisburg senior, has been the playmaker for them at the midfield. And if they're going to score, you get the feeling that it's going to come off of something that he does. Diggins can't keep it in, but it's awarded to Quaker Valley on a throw-in. Looked like it touched Diggins last. Instead, it stays with the Quakers. Another throw-in coming up for Quaker Valley. This one deep on the attacking third. Edwards off a touch. Shamovitz on the attack, tries a shot, and it spins right. He had the opening. Burns was in the area, likely would have made the stop, but Shamovitz tried to test him. Unfortunately, it drew to the right. Might have been deflected. Diggins to Kriebel, but it's sent away. McKinney with the clearance. Kim tracks it down in the corner. Permy Ashkin lets the ball go out. Throw in for Lewisburg from midfield. It's been a defensive battle. Tony Burns with 9 saves. Quaker Valley's had a lot of opportunities that were near misses. Just a bit off target. Here's a ball in the box, and Burr makes the stop. And now, the official's going to say something to him. On the close touch line, the ball stays in play. Edwards with the cross to Shamovitz. He keeps it in. Shamovitz sends it across for Kriebel, but it goes into the hands of Burns once again. Kriebel's been lurking throughout overtime. He's had a couple looks inside. Dunda to Diggins. Allen up to Shamovitz. Less than 10 minutes left to play in overtime number 2. Smith to the sideline. That's Diggins, and it goes out of play. Sub coming in now for Lewisburg. Reese Diefendorfer checks in. And he will replace Alfred Romano. Edwards had the touch initially. There's Dunda. He plays it forward. Hoover. Kriebel in the area. Well defended by Lewisburg's back line. It's been a heavyweight bout here in the 2A Boys State Championship game. Here's the ball into the box, but whoa, what a play by Burns. He sprints up to take it away by Shamovitz. Shamovitz was right there, but Burns came out of nowhere. What a play by Burns. Less than 8 minutes to go in overtime number 2. Here's Krebs. Permiashkin in a battle against Burns for a moment there, but Burns came away with the victory. Philip Permiashkin this year, 19 goals and 16 assists. That's second on the team for goals, first in assists. He's been a playmaker throughout the year for the Green Dragons. They've been trying to run some offense through him here in overtime. Edwards up to Shamovitz. Stumbris hustles back to box him out. Diefendorfer sends it back to McKinney. His clear is blocked and then sends it out towards the sideline. This deflected out by Edwards as Pauling re-enters here for Lewisburg. Throw-in from the far sideline for Lewisburg. 6 minutes left to play here in overtime number 2. Less than 6 minutes away from PKs. As here's a ball taken away by Burns at midfield. Burns sends it across, headed first by Stumbris. Still alive in the box. Stumbris comes away with it. Shamovitz to Kriebel. Wow, hard contact there. And the officials allow them to play on. Kriebel has it deflected. Diggins to Edwards. Saved by Burns. Edwards trying it off the good setup by Diggins, but couldn't squeak it past Burns, who makes his 10th save of the match. Four and a half minutes left to play in overtime number 2. Shamovitz uncorks one from downtown. Burns with another stop. Diefendorfer on the close sideline. 4 minutes left in overtime number 2. Krebs in the area. Burns sends it up the far sideline. Lewisburg applied the pressure in overtime number 1. Quaker Valley has been the more dominant team down the stretch here in overtime number 2 with the wind at their back. Both teams have had plenty of chances to win this game, both in regulation and now in 2 periods of overtime. Diefendorfer, marked by Allen. Three minutes left in overtime number 2. And a player down for Lewisburg. It's Reese Diefendorfer. Down again as he hobbles to the sideline. That's the second time we've seen that this afternoon. And he'll be replaced by Darian Silvakos. That's what 118 minutes will do to you. Off the reset, here's the ball into the box, and Burns snags it again. Kriebel once again in the area for Quaker Valley. Passanetti on the other side of the field. Ball goes into the box and is cleared away. That's Smith on the clearance. Shamovitz turns the corner. Shamovitz with whatever's left in the tank. He goes on the attack. And he plays it to the close sideline. And I think he thought he had a teammate there. Instead, it goes out of play for a throw-in. Less than 2 minutes to go in overtime number 2. Burns up the close sideline. This is a Quaker Valley offense that averaged 6.8 goals per match coming into today. What a performance defensively by Lewisburg to keep them off the scoreboard for 119 minutes. Kim knocks it out on the far sideline. Kriebel cleared away. 60 seconds left until penalty kicks. Kriebel over to Edwards. Silvakos with the play defensively as it's sent towards midfield. Throw in here on the close sideline for Quaker Valley. 30 seconds left. Allen slips it through to Edwards. He turns, fires across, and Kim knocks it away from Shamovitz. 10 seconds left. Krebs in the box. Burns. And that will take us to penalty kicks. Incredible. 120 minutes isn't enough to decide it. So we'll go to PKs. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, penalty kicks to decide a state champion. You're watching the PIAA 2A Boys State Final here on NFHS Network. After 120 minutes of action, we remain scoreless, 0-0. So this match will come down to penalty kicks for the first time in Hershey Park Stadium PIAA State Championship history. If you went this far in a title match, it used to be crowned co-champions. They changed that rule a few years ago, and now here we are for the first ever PK showdown to decide a state title. Quaker Valley and its high-powered offense came into tonight averaging just under 7 goals per match. They rolled their way into this state final, outscoring their opponents 17-0 on their way to Hershey. For Lewisburg, they've had to scrap their way to this point, but what a defensive effort it was from them for 120 minutes to keep Quaker Valley off the scoreboard. And finally, we'll get a chance to see some goals here in penalty kicks. So let's see how things go here, as each team will have 5 different players line up to take a PK. Our first round of shots coming up here. Bear with us here as we wait for the officials to spot the ball. We'll see who'll go first. Burns in goal for Lewisburg. Zach Burke, the keeper for Quaker Valley. Lewisburg will shoot first. And for the Green Dragons, it's Nick Passanetti. Everything on the line here. Passanetti. Off the left foot and in. Burr deflected it, but too much mustard on it from Passanetti. Strong start for Lewisburg. And now Rowan Kriebel will line it up and take the kick for Quaker Valley. Kriebel was lurking near the net throughout overtime. Wasn't able to put one through. Kriebel in a conversation with the official, and now he'll head back towards the bench. And he's putting shin guards on right now. And now a couple players for Quaker Valley return to the sideline to put their shin guards back on, including Keller Shamovitz. Rowan Kriebel scored 40 goals and dished out 24 assists this year for Quaker Valley. Along with Keller Shamovitz, he's been a dominant option for the Quakers this year. And he faces off against Tony Burns, who's made 10 huge saves today for Lewisburg. Kriebel. Readjusts here. Kriebel. In. Burns guessed right. Kriebel went the other way. And we're even at 1 through the first PK for each squad. Now it's Philip Permiashkin's turn. Permiashkin scored 16 goals this year. And it's in. Permiashkin with ice in his veins. Here comes Ryan Edwards. Edwards thought he earned a penalty kick in regulation. That's a play that Quaker Valley fans, I'm sure, will have live vividly in their minds if the Quakers fall to Lewisburg here today. But this PK is in the back of the net. We're back even at 2. Stumbris, a senior captain, an anchor on the back line. He made a plethora of big plays in regulation and in overtime. And he'll take the third kick for Lewisburg. Over the bar. Quaker Valley celebrates on the sideline as Stumbris leaves the door open. And here comes Keller Shamovitz. Shamovitz scored 50 goals this year. He had several chances in both regulation and overtime, couldn't capitalize, but now he has a chance to give Quaker Valley the lead in PKs. And he does! Burns guessed correctly, but Shamovitz squeaks it through. Keller Shamovitz pumps up the crowd. Quaker Valley with the advantage now. And here is Rudy Christensen-Garal. It's in. Big connection there. He ties it at 3. Will Dunda will take the 4th kick for Quaker Valley. Big shot here for Dunda. And if he makes it, the pressure is really on for Lewisburg. Dunda. In. No doubt about it from Will Dunda into the upper 90. Quaker Valley. A Lewisburg miss or a make of their own away from a state title. Carter Hoover, a senior captain for Lewisburg, needs to make this to keep his team alive. And he does. So it all comes down to this. Nick Allen, the sophomore, with a chance to win Quaker Valley the 2021 state title. Tony Burns has been magnificent tonight. Hasn't made a save yet in PKs. Needs one now. Allen wins it for Quaker Valley. Nick Allen with the winner in PKs. And that is a moment that young man will never forget. Quaker Valley, for the second time in 3 years, wins a state championship here at Hershey. And a heartbreaking finish for Lewisburg. They made it all the way back to the state final, trying to repeat as champions. They battled through 120 minutes, holding the offense of the Quakers off the scoreboard. But in PKs, it's Quaker Valley who takes the title. What a finish here at Hershey Park Stadium. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, they're going to hand out awards. You're watching the PIAA State Tournament here on NFHS Network. Welcome back into Hershey Park Stadium. Congratulations to Quaker Valley, the 2021 champions in boys 2A. What a final here in Hershey. Two teams who battled it out back in 2016. Lewisburg won that match, but Quaker Valley with vengeance here today, winning it in PKs. The final goal scored by sophomore Nick Allen. This was a heavyweight battle between two talented squads. Lewisburg fought all the way to the bitter end. Quaker Valley had so many opportunities in regulation and in overtime, slipped through their fingers, but they're able to come away with the victory in PKs, the first ever state championship won here at Hershey in PKs. So history has been made today as both teams are lined up to receive their medals for participating here in the state final. First, the runner-up, Lewisburg, will be honored. And what a performance it was today by their keeper, Tony Burns. He finished the match with 10 saves, and he did everything he could to lead his squad in his final appearance between the posts in high school. He left it all out there on the field, and you can't ask much more from a senior captain. Ian McKinney made several plays out there defensively on the back line. Simon Stumbris was brilliant today. Caleb Kim, he was all over the turf. He drew the assignment of having to mark Keller Shamovitz and did a stellar job in that role. Nick Passanetti made some plays offensively off corners, had a couple chances for some teammates to knock him in. Unfortunately, they weren't able to find the back of the net on a few of his crosses. Philip Permiashkin, another senior who has meant so much to this program. He played his heart out. Lewisburg tried to play their offense through him once the match got into overtime. Hoover, another senior, Carter Hoover. This is a group that fought all the way to this title game. It wasn't easy when you look at their path. They won 2-1 in the first round against Ole Valley, 3-2 versus Allentown Central Catholic in the quarters, and they were the victors in PKs during the semis as they knocked off Midwest. What a run for Lewisburg, who finishes the year 21-2-1, the District 4 champions. They were the reigning state champions, got all the way back to Hershey looking to repeat, but they fall one penalty kick short of that mark.
Presented with the 2021 PIAA 2A Boys Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations to the Green Dragons.
Congrats one more time to the runner-up Lewisburg Green Dragons. And now it's time to honor the champions in 2021, the Quaker Valley Quakers, who win their second state title in 3 years. What a moment for them. Redemption for a program that fell at the hands of Lewisburg back in 2016 at this very spot here in Hershey. It's not the way they would have drawn it up, winning it in PKs, but it's a state title victory nonetheless for a team that was dominant throughout the fall. With the win, they improved to 23-2 on the year. They hold their opponents scoreless throughout their 4 state playoff matches. And they finish outscoring opponents 17-0 on that stretch. Keller Shamovitz and Rowan Kriebel, 2 studs for Quaker Valley, finished their career on top, along with Will Dunda, John Freddie Krebs, Blaze Burns, who was stellar today defensively, Luca Raymond, Kellen Auth, Ian Morrison, Tim Smith, Ryan Edwards, and Grant Huddleston, along with Zach Burr, the goalkeeper, all of them seniors. They get to go out on top. And their head coach, J.J. Vecchio, gets to celebrate with them. And Nick Allen, the sophomore, he's got more high school soccer ahead of him, but he may have peaked today, scoring the first ever game-winning penalty kick in the history of PIAA soccer state finals. So what a moment for him, what a moment for the Quakers, and what a year for the 2021 state champions. That's going to do it for us here in the boys 2A state title game. Congratulations to Quaker Valley. But stick with us throughout the day. We've still got 2 more games coming up. For our crew here at the NFH Network, I'm Chris Markowitz saying stick around for 2 more here from Hershey Park.